for you ever long. Tonight I throw myself into and out of the red, out of her head she sang. Calm down and waste away with me, down with me. Slow how you wanted it to be. I'm over my head and out of her head she sang.
Go live, guys. Go live.
And I wonder when I sing along with you, if everything could ever feel this real forever, if anything could ever be this good again. The only thing I'll ever ask of you, you gotta promise not to stop when I say when. She sang. Breathe out so I can breathe you in and hold you in. And now I know you've always been out of your head, out of my head I sang. And I wonder when I sing along with you, if everything could ever feel this real forever, if anything could ever be this good again. The only thing I'll ever ask of you, you gotta promise not to stop when I say when. And she sang. And I wonder
All right, man. Yes. What's going on? Been sitting here day trading. Intel started out this morning with Tesla. Just seemed like those were moving more than the TQ's been moving. A lot of times when the market gets to a high here like this, pull me in. Oh, geez. If I put the camera on me, it'd be good, right? A lot of times when market gets to a high like this, the index itself might kind of slow down a little, but individual stocks are playing out their game inside the index, right? So I'm up $17 this little pop right here, but let me annotate some of this here. So we had this real nice stage 4 decline, and as often happens, it kind of got stuck here in this 200-day range, you know, and that's pretty common. Man, I might have to adjust the let me see if I can see how it looks. Doesn't look right to me. Oh, never did turn on Instagram, do we? There we go. Turn it on now. All right, so it looks like we're headed up here. We're at 41.81, but we caught this run back here at 41. I think it was like 41.40, and have run it up all the way to 42.10 is where I took some down, and then started marching right along the 200-day. And that's kind of what I was wanting to show you is look how this acted as support. I mean, it could still come down, but just look at this. That was support, and you can see it over here too, right? Let's see. So, what that's showing us is, I'll leave these on here. I have to take this one down. So holding 900 shares right now. I hope everybody's doing well, man. Let's see. Man, looking at something here. Okay, now we're moving. Now we're moving, man. Man, if you haven't already, hit that like button, click subscribe. I'd appreciate it. Let's put this on the other side, that QR code there. Pull up some comments here. I'm going to show these on the... There we go. Show them a little bit bigger on there. Everybody click like. I very much appreciate you. Well, it started to run, and it kind of slowed down a little bit. Man, my man said, old school Sunday service vibes. What's up, TD? What's up, Gavin, man? How you doing, man? Yes. Hey, Vic P, it's going okay, man. Hope you're doing all right as well. Dylan? So this thing looks like it wants to run here. Yeah, it's already broke out over on the level 2 here with E-Trade. Up about $103. Caught a nice run up into here. Caught some little whipsaw action in here. Was able to step aside and took a shot over in here. Got out pretty quick. And as we came back down and waiting for the setup, there's the doji right there. And then boom, we're back in, and it was never violated. Took about 20 minutes for the trade to take off and put us nice in the green for the day. And then took half off, and then I was able to put it back on here. So, and I would anticipate, we know one of the fundamental concepts of the money flow is that price has memory. And wherever it's been before, that's where it's likely to go again. Now we're going to be pushing up against that high right there. And the fact that the RSI is getting extreme. And you can see price kind of rejected it right there. Man. It's all right. And I'm out. Probably going to get right back in for half, though. So I'm stopped out there. Nice little run, man. Nice little run. Let's see. About to send out a trade of the week. If you're on that, if you're on the trade of the week there. Let's see. Hold on. Hold on. Let's see. MFG. What's up, Dean? We're just sitting here watching Intel. I got myself stopped out there. That's fun. But no, I didn't get myself stopped out. Got stopped out. We're back in for 300 shares here. Ooh, it just ripped ahead of me. God damn it. Man, well, we jumped to, didn't we? All right. 42.18, man. What the fuck? So 42.22. My thing is giving me trouble here, man. A new window here. Dead air. 42, and we're still creeping. So, but I didn't get my full allotment there. I'm gonna say the market came down because I wasn't able to pick up as many shares as I was prior. So it's usually a sign the market came down. Let's see. What's up, Dean? What's up, man?
Advait Prasad in New York. He writes, today Berkshire holds over $300 billion in cash and short-term investments, representing about 27% of total assets, a historically high figure compared to the 13% average over the last.
So watch this, guys. Watch this. Okay. If you come down here on stock charts and click zoom thumbnail, first time I ever noticed this, right over here, it zooms up. So you can get like a zoomed in view of this. How cool is that? That is cool, man. That is cool. Oh. Now, moving against me, man. Moving against us here. Yeah. So I got 550 shares, it looks like. Oh, no, it's not moving. Looks like it held the 5 there. So we'll give it just a second. So when I'm day trading, this is usually enough to get me out right there. You know, once I go red and then I go under it with another red, I'm out. But before I could hit the button here, it came back up to the 5. And I hate to get out, but, you know, when it's not even hit the 5 yet, because if that kills your run, if it's running. And we're probably going to work our way up to 42.40. That's the previous high. When you get these big, long slide down, a lot of times those big slide downs, man, you're going to get a big slide up to make up for it. I mean, if you're watching on Instagram, you can go over to YouTube. It's archived over there. And let's see.
It's 25 years. This has also led Berkshire to effectively own nearly 5% of the entire U.S. Treasury market. Beyond the need for liquidity to meet insurance obligations, is the decision to raise cash primarily a de-risking strategy in response to high market valuations, Or is it also a deliberate effort to position Berkshire's balance sheet for a smoother leadership transition, providing Greg Abel with maximum flexibility and a clean slate for future capital allocation decisions? And I will add one line from another shareholder, Mike Conway, who asks, are you encouraged you may see some fat pitches coming your way?
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't do anything nearly so noble as to withhold investing myself just so that Greg could look good later on. No, if he gets any edge when I leave, I'll resent it. So the amount of cash we have, we would spend. Well, we came pretty close to spending 10 billion not that long ago, for example. But we'd spend 100 billion. I mean, and those decisions are not tough to make. When something is offered that is that makes sense to us and that we understand and offers good value and where we don't worry about losing. And the one problem with the investment business is that things don't come along in an orderly fashion, and they never will. I mean, it isn't like every day.
It's still in.
The long-term record is.
I should be out right now.
But that is not a product. And
But I'm not.
See, I mean,
Warren Buffett there is talking about why he has 300 billion in cash on hand. NVIDIA hitting 200. Let's go. That's nice, man. Let's get back to this. So this is new feature over here where it's a zoomed in thumbnail of what is going on over right here. Pretty cool. And if you noticed, when we zoom in on that thumbnail, what you see right here with the TSI, the True Strength Index, crossing and rolling over, it's a little more profound there when we zoom in. And when we see the slope of the MACD right here, slope of the MACD, it's a little more profound. Yeah, so I got to step aside, man. Damn it. I'm going to step aside and look to get back in just a minute. And it's coming. Oh, let's see. Yeah, so you can see what's happening right here at 42.08. It's, it's breaking down. Interesting chart I wanted to show you here. Let's see. This is GameStop. Now, GameStop's a highly speculative play, right? Let's put our thumbnail on this one too. Nice. All right. But just visually looking at this chart, what do you see? I mean, if you look at it and you go from right to left, what's going to jump off at you, I'm sure, is that giant support level we're seeing right here. I mean, so look at this thing. I mean, that's a lot of we got it over here, 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 here. That is a lot of support. We got an obvious upside target of here, another one up in here. Man. And if we look over here at 23.37, price just got above the 5, confirming it. We got our 4 bars. We actually got 6. He tried to make a breakout. So yeah, man, I like that. It's a very useful tool. I'm very excited about that. So let's see. There were several of these that I really liked the setup on. CLX, that's Clorox. I like the setup here. It still keeps going down, but if you look where we're at right now, I think it's worth taking a shot, especially in a buy and hold or something. It has stopped here 3 times. Once, twice, You might could count these that it held those, and then here we are. We got the 200 here, so this would be a nice setup for a B&B trade, maybe. I'm on the short side here on Intel now. Matter of fact, probably about to take profits. I don't stay short very long. So that's Clorox, man. Nice. Maybe we break and we head down. I don't know. I'm going to take a shot at it here. Stock's undervalued. It could be a B&B trade. And if you're in the CIS program, second income stream, boom, this is the type of thing you want to trade. Oh, and the trade of the week. I'm going to send those out tonight if you're on the premium for the Peters report. And I'm going to send those out here shortly, actually. And you're going to see similar. Let's see. Similar type of stock. The number one pick is 7% yielder, and number two is a 5% yielder. Often we don't always do dividend stocks for trade of the week because we're trying to catch momentum. But I think these have set up pretty nice, and I think they go across all platforms. You'd want it in your buy and hold. You could do it as a swing trade. Probably could do it, pick up options on them. You could. I mean, a lot of ways to play it. Okay, I guess what I'm trying to say. Let's see. Boom. Like the DraftKings play a lot. Have you looked at CZ as well? GP very undervalued. We're talking about Caesars. We're getting a doji here. Let me get ready to. Oh, that doji went away.
$200 trading days times 80 years on. 16,000 trading days. It would be nice if every day you got 4 opportunities or something like that. And they were expected to be equally attractive. If I was running
I'm taking.
bracket,
I'm covering half my short.
Same expectancy of that I would keep 40% of whatever the handle was, and so the only question would be is how much would transacted. But we're not running that kind of a business. And so we're running a business which is very, very, very opportunistic.
Got short right around here, 42.11.
We thought if we did about 5 things in our lifetime, we could
just trimmed half.
We'd end up doing better than if we did 50, and that we never concentrated enough. So that we would rather have. If we've got 335 billion now in treasuries, we would rather have conditions that are developed where we would have like 50 billion or something like that.
Take this down.
That just isn't the way the business works.
So I'm out of the short right now. I tend to do better over time myself personally when I don't stay around on the short side very long. All right, now I want to go to a higher time frame, right? Time continuity. So 5x of that would be go to the 5 minute. Now we're looking at a 5 minute chart. What does the 5 minute say? 5 minute looks to be rolling over, but not necessarily. And we just got well, we had a doji on the 1 minute, but it didn't hold. Let's see. Yeah, so we're getting the rollover. Oh, we're going to, well, hopefully it holds. Oh, man, it did not hold. It just broke. I'm going to take another shot at the short side here. Oh, man. Not cool. So we're back on the 1 minute. We've broke the 200. I thought we'd stop right here. We had a lot of support right there. Man, I'm gonna be surprised it doesn't hold. Let me clean this up some. Man. Up here. step aside on that short. Oh, damn. All right. So we got the higher time frame. The higher time frame, we call this time continuity, where you layer time on top of each other. The beginning of the money flow says that the money flow, if you don't have a book, the money flow, man, grab a copy. Go over to geraldpeters.info. You can order the ebook. Let's see. Yeah, here we go. Putting in a doji. What's up, Lisa? Let's see. Lisa, I'm gonna start dropping the podcast we did together out probably today. Meant to start last week. I just totally forgot. Let's see. Now, if this 5-minute holds, let's go back to the 5-minute, take time frame up. And then let's back it up one more. Let's go to a 30-minute. This is what I trade Bitcoin on, 30-minute chart. Yeah, see the 30-minute. I mean, the RSI was worked off, but it's still pretty high. Come down here to this 5-minute again. RSI is less, and now down we go, man. Wow. I'm really surprised here. But this is rolling over, guys. This is rolling over. I mean, the 5-minute is now a sell signal. So, and we just take it on down. Down we go. That kind of sucks.
Excuse me. Excuse me. I don't know if you've noticed or not, but there's other people waiting to use the phone here.
There are?
Yeah.
Other people want to use the phone.
That's right, you selfish asshole.
Jeez, that's too bad, because you know what?
What?
I think it's out of order.
Yep, I think it's out of order. Let's see. All right, so looks to be holding right in here. Are we going to make a run for it? Maybe so. Yeah, back on the long side. Wow. Now it's lowered how many shares? So the market must have come down here. I appreciate that, Lisa. I had a lot of fun too. Anytime you want to do it again, let me know. SoFi still going up. 300. We got a 352% return. Nice. Congratulations, sir. Mine's about the same, I think. Right around that area. Let's see.
Is still in the early stages. Okay. I'm just pulling up numbers. These are estimates for IT spending around AI, but IDC just published their most recent report, and they are forecasting 1.3 trillion of spending by 2029. I mean, that's a huge number, okay? And look at the level of growth compared to where it is in 2024. That, of course, is a huge driver of spending. And yet the stock that probably
Back on the long side.
important and a beneficiary of that is NVIDIA. And you can see here it trades at 26 times earnings. Now, some of you might look at
we're
that
against the
chart and
5-minute
say,
bell right now.
wow, it's 26 times. This is expensive. Now, keep in mind, number one, this is the scarcest company in the world today. They sell a product that every AI company that's going to spend $1.3 trillion a year needs. There really isn't going to be a $1 trillion LLM without using NVIDIA. And yet it trades at 26 times earnings. By the way, Costco trades at 49
headed
times
down.
earnings, and Walmart trades at 39 times.
Damn.
So in a way, NVIDIA would have a higher multiple if they sold membership cards or rolled back prices to $9.99. But you get the point. If NVIDIA traded at Costco's multiple, the stock would be up 300. I think Costco is a lot less scarce than NVIDIA. So if you ask me, if NVIDIA is cheap, the AI trade is still massively undervalued. And there's a lot of productivity. Google, this is a CNBC story. Google's eliminated 35% of managers overseeing small teams. That's productivity. Now, there's a lot of people that say that this is an AI bubble. In fact, at Fundstrat, that's something we hear a lot because we hear from our clients. We have roughly 10,000 RIA and family office clients, and we hear from them a lot. Not everyone's bullish on AI. But here's the reason to be bullish on AI. The world has a structural shortage of labor. The blue line is the prime age workforce globally. And as you can see, the growth rate is slowing, okay? But the gray line is the total world population, which is growing faster than the prime age workforce. So as that blue line shows, we have a structural shortage of labor, which is the first time since 1973. So think about this. Starting in 2018, the world actually had a shortage of prime age workers. But for 2 generations, so many of us who started covering stocks in 1973, and I started covering stocks in 1973 when I was young. I'm just kidding. But for 50 years, people who invested never had to think about labor shortage. But actually, that's changed. And how does that change how you should invest? Well, I have a chart going back to 1947. And in the United
I'm adding
States,
shares
because we have a lot of data here, there have been 2 other times where the U.S. had structural labor shortage. 1948 to 67. And
target 42.20 and then 42.40.
And in the gray box, I highlighted that. Whenever there's been labor shortage in America, technology spend goes parabolic. It makes a lot of sense. What it's saying is, if you don't have enough workers, then companies have to find non-human workers. Well, we're entering the 3rd phase And that's why folks are calling this a super cycle for AI. And the bottom chart here is technology stocks. Above is that labor shortage for the US. You can see tech stocks have gone parabolic every time the US has labor shortage. So this is the third cycle for labor shortage, and we think tech will at least become 50% of the S&P. Now, I want you to say, or think about something. Someone will say, oh, well, if there's labor shortage, then all these other countries benefit. That's not true. When the world had surplus labor, then the countries with cheap labor benefited: China, Asia, India, Africa. But if there's labor shortage, you still might want to find cheap labor, but only India and Africa have supply. You're actually going to try to find non-human labor. And the biggest supplier of that is the United States with AI and robots. There's, of course, Japan, China, and Germany. But as this chart shows, all of the best tech companies and the biggest, you can see by the size of the circles, are basically US businesses. So in the next 10 years, the choice people will have to make is the next largest supplier of robots and tech is China. But is the world going to prefer to buy these from the United States or from China? And in my opinion, they're going to choose the US because that's really been the case. Of the 25.
Man, that's Tom Lee, and why the bull market isn't over yet in his outlook for the 2025 year. He's kind of in line with ARK Invest CEO Kathy Wood, and that they do not believe AI is in a bubble yet. So, and just because something is popular doesn't make it a bubble. I mean, a lot of people can talk about something or know something or see something, but they don't actually own it. And you can have a lot of times the people crying bubble don't even actually own any. So I'm not sure we can trust their opinion on what a bubble is, since they didn't get into the bubble to begin with. It's funny to read all the comments under Tom's stuff. It's always nice guy, but the market's going down. Paul Tudor Jones comments on it. What's up, Chris? How you doing?
Meantime, let's talk about some big investments in tech, as Kathy Wood's ARK ETFs made significant changes to their portfolios last week. According to daily trading disclosures, selling AMD and Shopify and buying Baidu. The China interest is part of a trend this year.
Well, we can say this. She played China right. She got out of China and avoided a lot of the down move, man. Big down move. I don't know if you guys have seen this, but this is a zoomed in thumbnail of what's happening right here. It's pretty cool. New feature I just noticed on stock charts, and it's right here, called Zoom Thumbnail. I had never seen that before. Not that I remember. Let's see. Yeah, everything's to the downside now. I just got stopped out. Man. Oh, sorry. Hey, if you guys haven't already, if you hit that QR code, you can get signed up. Should be the Bitcoin letter. If you haven't, you're not on it, man, get on it. I'm going to be sending out alerts on using the daily and the 30-minute chart. Oh, no, that's trade of the week over there. Let's see. Messed it up. Hold on. One cool feature, man, if you guys have the
Some are definitely big.
The upgraded version here. So like I just sent out this Jack Dorsey drops one word response to Elon Musk's latest Bitcoin endorsement, right? And if you're on the premium, it'll read it to you, man.
Jack Dorsey drops one word response to Elon Musk's latest Bitcoin endorsement. And Bitcoin breaks out by Gerald Peters at Full Auto 11. ThePetersReport.com. Market update, October 26, 2025, 2:35 p.m. New Orleans emergency. By Gerald Peters, Money Flow Trading Society. Market insight, Musk, Dorsey, and the Bitcoin energy debate.
All right, so what that reads it to you. I really like it because I can zoom through a lot of letters, and then you can listen to them over, man. You don't have to read them. Anyway, that alone makes, and I'm thinking that nothing to talk about on SoFi. We're just riding it. Already took profit, so I'm just letting the rest run, man. I mean, things going. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, let's see. We see SoFi jumping out here. It's jumping off again, up another 5%. I would just let it run. I wouldn't do anything to it. Oh, but check out our new feature here on stock charts. Boom. With the zoom window, it zooms in on that little week of trading there. It's about 2 weeks of trading, actually. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 12. That's 3 weeks of trading right in there. That's pretty cool. Yeah, let's get back on this. We're day trading Intel here. I pretty much use the same system, except some different stuff with the oscillators, with the RSI and such. PayPal's going to do a dividend, huh? I guess they've decided they're not growing anymore. A fractal is a never-ending pattern. Fractals are infinitely complex patterns that are self-similar across different scales. They are created by repeating a simple process over and over again in an ongoing feedback loop. Driven by recursion, fractals are images of dynamic systems. Wow. Man, it's too choppy, man. I'm going to step aside. I'm just getting chopped out here. Man. I'm going to step aside on this. Let's look into some charts here. Geometrically, they exist in between our familiar dimensions. Fractal patterns are extremely familiar since nature is full of fractals. One of the examples I always give is when you walk outside, you don't have to be a meteorologist to know it might rain. You can look up and see the weather a lot of times, and you can tell. Let's see. Look at tree, man. Tree is one I sure wish I'd got a lot more down lower. We got a stage 2 breakout going right now on tree. So these banking stocks, these are mortgage related stocks. They do mortgages. Tree, lending tree. Very simple, very easy swing trade here. Look at that. So yeah, RSI is just now getting over 50. We just got the TSI bullish crossover. Instagram alerted us a while back, so it gave us the stage 1 entry. Boom, boom, boom. Let's see. Man, what about we got Starbucks on Nucor Steel? Jess was telling me that just broke out. Boom, 6.5%, dude. Bam. Look at that. Nice. It's a stock I've been in since it was like $80, I think. Let's see. Starbucks. No, pulling back today. But this is a blue chip dividend paying stock trading underneath the 200-day moving average. Anytime it sets up stage 1, I'm just going to add to the position. That strategy has worked very well for me for a very long time. So I'm thinking it'll work here too. Let's see. Check something here. All right. If you go to the newsletter, changed up the front a little bit, and add new videos, not just mine. Ones I think are worth watching. And where is Uber? Hold on, I'm not even sure yet. Am I? Yeah, I am. Let's see. And doing a lot, or doing videos just for Bitcoin now over there. Over here, and you get on the page 6, you'll start seeing where I think, where everything is, what stage everything is on, man. I think that's real helpful. You got the S&P, in which we could call it green light 2. Stage 2 is a green light, right? We had the Qs, they're stage 2. The Dow was a 2/3. Let's check it on oil. Oil was breaking out and then was breaking down. Okay, oil's still above. It's still above the 20 there. Oh man, that's a sloping. Just look at this. You can just see the slope. Look at that. It's just a sloping down channel. Look, each time it hits that top, it turns down. Will it do it again? I don't know. Looks like it. Setting up that way. You might even wait till it breaks here before you get in, or just be ready to take it. Be ready to dump it or get out. You can trade the UCO. That's a 2x oil. So it's the USO is the oil fund, but the UCO is the ProShares Ultra Bloomberg Crude Oil. This is a 2 times asset. Another one would be what? The XLE. If we wanted to get it on energy, that would be one. Chart looks the same. We could get it on Gush. It's another one. It's turning down. Personally, I would just play the single stocks. Like Bohr. Bohr tried to make a second run, and it seems that it just ran into trouble, man. Where it stopped before, tended to get it. And that's pretty common, man. Pretty common. About to buy a second house. Nice. I assume it's for a rental. Hope it's for a rental. Let's see. Man, AMD. We've had a big ass run in AMD. Big run in Intel. So we're looking at right now. KRE. This is Spider S&P Regional Banking ETF. We got a lot of overhead though at the 66 range. It's only 9% higher. So I don't know. I don't know if I get too heavy into that trade. Back to the newsletter. We went over 1 million views, by the way. Appreciate everybody looks at it. With the Substack, we try to do is bring this to life, But every Sunday, this is where I post what I'm looking at. Now, this isn't every stock, I'm not trying to play every stock that we have here. Just the ones that make sense, that look right, or can help me, if it can kind of help me see the rotation. Now, this is proprietary. I came up with this, with having the stage 1, stage 2, the breakouts, then the growth, the BNB, all this stuff is, we came up with, not the stages, but aligning them, because originally this was like a wheel, almost like a circle. And what I'm trying to do is to determine where the market's going next. So we track the wins. We look at what's in a stage one. Well, the ones in a stage one are probably going to be the wins that are lower, right? And the ones that are that are number one on the wind, those stocks are going to be the ones that are running, right? And so depending on what you're trying to do, if you're trying to get in a day trade, you don't give a fuck how far the stock has gone. You can just get in and trade it. But if you're trying to do a buy and hold, you would never buy something that was in the probably a number one on the win list. It wouldn't make sense. The stocks would already have run. So I'm constantly utilizing that for buy and hold, for the second income stream, for swing trades, and then possibly for day trades, or B&Bs, bread and butter plays. We got those. We can let Intel take us out here. We're headed higher. Well, we were. Boom. Man. Oh, there it goes. Taking off.
With Wood buying Alibaba stock for the first time in 4 years last month. In fact, I was just looking at some of the performance in AMD, and you can see that stock up more than 100%. Is the rally done, or is it just beginning as a challenger to NVIDIA? Let's go to Dan. He joins us live from Riyadh. Dan, we're meant to be talking about investments in the Middle East this week, but you've been sitting down with Kathy Wood, and it's fascinating to me. She's doubling down on China now. What did you learn from that interview?
Well, let's find out more. Kathy Wood joins me live now around the desk here at FII in Saudi Arabia. Kathy, great to have you on the program. Welcome to Squawk Box.
Thank you, Dan. I'm thrilled to be here.
So, Kathy, let's talk about what we're seeing in the markets right now, because I want your reaction first and foremost to this surge that we've seen in Qualcomm. It's going to be taking on the likes of NVIDIA and AMD. Your thesis is innovation. Do you welcome that pop? Is it just getting started? Where is it going from here?
Yes, I know a lot of people are worried about all the AI hype, but as we're looking to the future, especially with embodied AI, which is all about robotaxis and transforming the world of transportation completely, and then healthcare, which is probably one of the most profound applications of AI, we think that this investment will pay off. And I think the chaser is going to be humanoid robots. And I think that is going to be the biggest of all the embodied AI opportunities.
Well, Kathy, the concern in the market right now is that the pace of innovation doesn't necessarily justify the premiums that we're seeing for some of these names. How would you respond to that?
Yes, well, if we're right and the growth continues to accelerate in this space, we think that the the valuations will make sense longer term. So you really do have to have a longer term time horizon, which we do. We have a 5-year investment time horizon. I'm not saying there will never be any corrections. Of course there will, as many people worry, okay, is this too much too soon? But if our expectations for AI, especially embodied AI in the way that I just described, are correct, we are at the very beginning of a technology.
We're making a run. We're at 42.10. Broke through the 200 there.
What I do think is on the enterprise side, it is going to take a while for large corporations to prepare themselves to transform. It's going to take a company like Palantir going into the largest enterprises and really restructuring them in order to really capitalize on the productivity gains that we think are going to be unleashed by AI. In the consumer space, the consumer loves all of this, and I think we're all looking forward to our personal assistants doing our shopping for us. Well, I am. As I talk to people around the world, some people love shopping, so they may not. But I am really excited about not just shopping, but how much my productivity as an individual is going to increase with AI. It already has in terms of research.
Let's just stress test this point, because you said that AI is not in a bubble, but you also flagged that there could be a correction risk. What's the timeline on that correction then, if you were to gaze into your crystal ball?
We're going to reach a moment in the next year where the conversation will shift from lower interest rates to rising rates, but it will be for a good reason. We think that the economy, the US and the rest of the world, of course, will participate, is going to move into a productivity driven boom just in time for our midterm elections. So I think when interest rates reverse, there will be a shudder because there are a lot of people out there, and we saw this during COVID and its aftermath, who think that innovation and interest rates are inversely correlated. That is not true over history. Even in 2017, when interest rates went up, we had phenomenal performance. So I want to disabuse people of that notion, but nonetheless, the way algorithms work these days,
I got out there, but
we think that there will
give it a
be
minute.
a reality check, shall we say.
A reality check. Okay, so if we do come into this higher rate environment, as you're suggesting, then how should investors be thinking about?
Hey, come on, guys, hit like for me if you would, please,
space?
and
Of course,
subscribe
we
if you're
are
not.
More than 50% YTD.
Tell a
Talk to me
friend.
about some of the allocations you're making right now and this big bet on the future. Ultimately, what's going to pay off?
Well, one of the things we have focused on consistently.
Wow, we just got blasted. Man, it was heading into the close. It would look like it was going to make a run for it, but we just got blasted. That sucked. Man, right into it too. Now they're picking it up. Maybe they were stop hunting, huh? Maybe they're stop hunting. Who knows? Wow. So one thing we got out of today was the Zoom thumbnail over here on stock charts zooms in on a 2-week period and looks pretty good. Sorry, I'm over here trading away. All right, so I'm out, man. Slightly green. It was pretty green earlier in the day, man. Now I'm just kind of slightly green. That sucks. I got a little aggressive there. I shouldn't have. A little more aggressive than I should have got, probably. That's all right. We do what we do. Michael says, thanks for everything you do. I hope you do more live day trades. Yeah, we can do that. Trying to get back in the roll of things. Thanks, GP. Let's see. And you guys are new. I'm gonna be doing like a week. It'll probably be every day for a week. I'm still working on the exact times. They'll be recorded and archived. For some reason, you can't make it. Like my man said here, at least you cut your losses. That is half the game right there, right? And we're going to cover the basic 5 tenets of trading. We'll do some real-time trading, and then obviously I got to limit it because I'm going to do 1 hour, at least 1 hour of trading with you personally. We'll probably use Bitcoin as a proxy and do it at night. I mean, we could do it during the day, just as well, but at night is easier to schedule. And we're not trying to make money on that. We're trying to watch price. I jumped in on the short side. I couldn't help it. we're trying to watch the movement of price, and I find that Bitcoin trading 24 hours a day, it runs good on a 1 minute chart, it runs good on a 5 minute, it runs good on a 30 minute, it runs, so we can all of the same principles there. So we can do the live trading one on between just me and you at night or during the day. So I'm gonna cap that. I just had a lot of brand new people asking me about the boot camp that we used to do, or new to trading. I can't do a boot camp like that one. That was a 30-day boot camp. I'm looking for writers right now, so I can't be doing no boot camp, but no 30-day one. But we can do a lot, man. In a week, we record it, get you the outline. I've been working on a book called The Perfect Swing Trade, and I'm gonna give you guys the outline to that. Let's see. Man, look where it's stopping, man. Right, kind of that. Well, no, I guess it needs to come down about 10 cents to be in that zone, but it got close. It got right at the top of it. And one of the, wherever price has been before, it can go again. Price has memory, right? So if this one broke, I'm assuming it's coming down to the next one, which looks like it would have been right up in here. Oh, yeah, I guess it hit it perfect. Resistance, right? That used to be resistance, becomes support on the way down. MACD's saying down, TSI's down, everything's down. Yeah, that stuff there just takes practice, and the market is over. So it looks like something's turned down on the day, man. Ooh. Hey, this DraftKings broke this box here and came down to this one. If you notice what happened last time that happened, it came back up into the box, right? So this I would consider the box zone. And if we get back up into that, that is super fucking bullish, okay? It's super bullish. So keep that in mind. Anytime you get back into a box, it's usually super bullish, man. Yeah, man. Luke says at least you cut your losses. That's right. All right, man. Hey, I appreciate you guys. If anything I can do for you, man, you let me know. And let's see.
Calm down and waste away with me, down with me. Slow how you wanted it to be. I'm over my head and out of her head, she sang. And I wonder, when I sing along with you, if everything could ever feel this real forever, if anything could ever be this good again. The only thing I'll ever ask of you, you gotta promise not to stop when I say when. She sang.